U.S. manufacturing technology orders may seem a little bit bland right now, and they'll have you on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to be underneath the tree, but don't worry. They're only taking a winter snap. They're going to be back in spring. We're going to tell you why. Hi, Pat McGibbon with AMT, the Association for Manufacturing Technology, to talk about the U.S. Manufacturing Technologies Orders Report for October. Right off the bat, September to October was down slightly, almost flat, which is something we weren't really expecting. We're expecting the last 3 months of the year to be slightly above average to the rest of the months of 2015. What it did do is leave us about 17.4% lower the first 10 months of 15 versus the first 10 months of 2014. Not a great way to go into the next year. In fact, if you could consider this sort of a winter's nap for manufacturing technologies orders, because the rest of the economy is still floating pretty well. Consumer spending and services have helped buoy the economy with some significant growth expectations for 2015. And in fact, the third largest contributor to the economic growth across the course of the year was capital investment. It's just that with all the things that are going on, energy prices falling, the economic outlook in China and around the world kind of softening a bit, and then on top of that, we've seen some challenges with commodity prices, which have made things a lot less expensive, but also put the pressure on the profits that those kind of products generate. Lack of profits means the lack of money available to invest in capital equipment. I just attended an economic symposium in Chicago put on by the Federal Reserve Bank there, and I suggest if you're out in the Midwest, you should take an opportunity next December to join them and listen in on what they expect for the 2017 time framework for the economy. Excellent group of in the audience, excellent group of people on stage. But going back to what they said, they're looking for about a 2.4% growth in 2015 GDP over 2014. And we've had those kind of numbers in the past. It's usually meant pretty good business for everyone, including us. But it's not so right now. As we go into 2016, though, they're looking for that number to grow modestly, but enough that we should see some pickup in manufacturing technology orders. Probably not going to happen until late spring or early summer, but we should see a bounce back from where we're currently sitting as far as order levels. Now, what's generating all this? Well, it's you've heard some pretty good news in the last few days. I mean, jobs report came out and said that there were 211,000 new jobs in the economy. Unfortunately, with manufacturing, we actually detracted from that because manufacturing jobs fell by 1,000 units in November. But to be honest with you, that's not a surprise to anyone. Typically, manufacturing units are trying to be a little bit leaner at the end of the year, so trying to bolster profitability, and taking out non-production or non-productive staff in the last parts of the year is one way to make their books look a little better before the close of the year. So what does this mean for manufacturing as a whole? First 6-7 months, we should see a little bit of a flatness in manufacturing before it begins to pick up. And that acceleration will be what will cause manufacturing technology orders to begin to grow 2, 3, 4 months after that happens. So at the end of 2016, we should just begin in the beginnings of a new uptick in manufacturing technology orders. What great timing for IMTS, right? Can't believe Mr. Eelman's luck. But what can we do to help make sure this happens? Well, there is legislation on the floor right now that's being considered, as it is almost every year at this time, on the tax extenders. And really, you got to get out there and push your congressman about the importance of this and help beat into their heads that enacting this legislation at the end of the year, every year, does almost no good in using it as a sales tool to get people to buy more productive equipment. Now, one of the positives about the current bill is they're looking to make it a 2-year bill. That means that it would be passed now and be retroactive to the beginning of January 2015, but would be in effect through to the end of December 2016. You get to use it as a tool for sales for a whole year and 1 month. And that would be a lot better than what we've been at in the past. In addition, they're looking at taking it from the $25,000 level they currently have, the Section 179, back to $500,000. That's fantastic. And if they take it one step further, there is some talk on the sidelines about making this permanent. Again, great. All those things would help make what's going to be a tough beginning in 2016 a lot easier to take and perhaps turn the business around a little bit faster. In the people I've talked to over the course of the last 6 weeks, it would appear that quotation activity hasn't been canceled. I mean, people aren't just stopped answering phone calls about where their quotes are and what they're doing. It's just taking nearly twice as much time to get those quotes turned into orders. And the conversion rate is dropped from around 65 and 70% down to about 50%, in some cases a little bit less. But cancellations, orders made haven't turned into cancellations as yet. We're seeing the cancellation levels remaining at their normal rates. This is a good sign that this is not going to be a drop like what we had in 2001 or in 2009. So as we look into 2016, I see a rough start followed by a happy ending in 2016, lead us into a strong 17. And if our forecasters in Oxford Economics and Institute for Trend Research are correct, we should see this last well into 2018 as well. Let's hope so. And to that, have a happy holidays, and we'll see you next month to talk about the November order picture.